Yeah, man. Good morning. Welcome to the Daily Money Market. You're actually with me, Che Yusuf. So yeah, it's about the time where we actually go through in terms of the weekly analysis, what is going on, this week in terms of the fundamental news, and as well as a little bit of a technical analysis on the chart. But obviously, before we go further, we always like to actually, recap in terms of what has been happening last week. So again, another interesting week that has just passed. There's a lot of things that they were actually, pushing the price of the stocks, the price of a lot of instruments to go all the way high. One actually interesting stuff that actually come last week. It's a French actually cut the rates for 25 basis points. So what happened is, if you remember, previous week, last week, the Central Bank of Europe, European Central Bank, cut the rates by 25 basis points. And now we're anticipating maybe the Bank of England to follow that. So if European banks the central bank decided to cut the rates, then the Bank of England is supposed to be followed in terms of cutting the interest rate. Then maybe the Bank of Germany is supposed to follow. Maybe again the Bank of France is supposed to be able to follow in terms of cutting the interest rate. But not like that. The Bank of England actually still remain to put the interest rate on a pause. But France, that's where we see CNB cut rates at the 25 basis points in France. So in CNB, it's one of the bigger bank in France that actually drives the most of the decision in terms of the economy in Swiss franc, in terms of the instrument. All right, so that's one of the things that actually was driving really big in terms of the economy. What we saw again last week, it's a follow-up of the story of Boeing 727 airplane. They are actually, they said Boeing CEO Dave Cost faces the grading from the senators because of 727 crash, right? We already spoke about last week again. Bank of England, the rate decision actually remain on a pause. They leave it on a pause. What they are actually saying, these guys, they're saying they are actually waiting for a data to come. So they're saying they are data dependent. They're not depending on how the tech is actually moving, but they want to see how the data is going to perform. So when it talks about the data, they're talking about the consumer price index, the CPI, from GDP. Again, the PPI, producer price index, from GDP. They're talking about the GDP from that particular area. So all those data, when they combine, it gives them a specific decision in terms of if they can continue to cut the rates, or start to cut the rates, or continue leaving it on a pause. So we see that the Bank of England leaves the key rate at 5.25%, estimated 5.250%. So it's the same level, same on a pause. 737 MAX crash victims, female 625 billion Boeing fine. So Boeing again, they're going to get fined $25 billion. That will go to 737 victims that are actually get affected by the airplane from Boeing. So another interesting stuff that is actually cooking the market as well is the election that is coming from US election countdown was there starting from last week. I think on a June 27 we're going to see the first press debate from Joe Biden and Donald Trump. That will be on a 27th of June. Again, on a July 11th, there's a Trump sentence. Again, if you've been following the US election, you realize that Trump has been on a court with different issues, which is I don't want to go through with it in this platform. So 11th of July, that will be a sentence of Trump. July the 15th, it's RNC, Renaissance of July the 15th, and then August the 19th is 2024 DNC, the Democrat elections, and again election day that comes on November 5th. So the update just came last week. Just give us a little bit of an update in terms of the US election. The response to the geopolitical events will be closely watched for 2025 policy making outlook. So whatever is happening on the 2024, because of the geopolitics, it will affect the policymakers the following year. Those are the news that actually pushes the price and bring a little bit of volatility in the market. What else did we see? We see the Miller Seymour, Jonathan Miller, a Miller Seymour's company, saying about the Federal Reserve, about the interest rate. He says, when the Fed does cut, I suspect there will be an outsized pickup in sales, even with only 25 basis points cut. Many would be buyers, have been waiting for 2.5 years to see easing of the rate. So to be honest, we've been actually waiting for over 2 years to 3 years. Through the COVID-19, the rate has been going up. So people have been waiting for over 2.5 years just to see the interest rate to start being cut. So we're anticipating the interest rate to cut maybe from 25 basis points from July. That comes from a lot of analysts as well. Again, we saw jobless claim coming last week. US jobless claim 238,000 in June, 15-week estimated 235. So they were estimated 235. It goes all the way to 238 people that are claiming the jobs. So that's what actually comes last week. So there was a lot of anticipation that comes last week, but again, this is a new week. We want to see what exactly is coming in terms of the fundamental analysis, and again, we can go on a technical analysis. So yeah, let's jump in. Particular time, so we're going to expect a high movement from German 30, from UK 100, which is FTSE 100, Euro instrument, GDP instrument as well. They're going to have high movement as well there. Moving on 2:30 p.m., there's a final GDP coming from USA, United States. And again, the dollar is going to have a high movement impact, including all indices like US 30, S&P 500, NAS 100 as well. Moving on Thursday, 4 p.m., there's a pending home sales from US. So we are seeing that on Thursday, there's a lot of movement in terms of US instrument. A lot of people, they can actually take a look or pay attention on Thursday to US instrument. They can take advantage and actually see the opportunity in the market so that they can be able to execute. The last day of the week, it's Friday. Friday, we are seeing the Canadian GDP month to month. It's actually happening 2:30 p.m. as well. 2:30 p.m. there's a core PCE price index from US as well. 4 p.m. the last one of the week, it's a revised consumer sentiment that is coming on Thursday. So right. All right, that's about the high impact volatility of this week. So maybe also we can jump in terms of the market and actually to see, what's going on in the market and how the, where do I think the market in terms of this week is going to go. So, right, let's jump in the market. Okay. Maybe we should start with the France 40. We are looking at a France 40 at particular time because they're going to have a lot of movement in terms of news from Europe. So we're expecting instrument like France 40, instrument like German 30, UK 100 to have a high impact volatility. Right now, you can see already that starting from Friday, France 40 has been spiking all the way, going all the way up. And I think from today, it will retrace a little bit. Just to retrace the volatility all the way to this level. Let me see here. Maybe if we get on this, okay, that level. So it might come this morning, especially now, there's a high impact volatility that has just started from, a Euro session. So it might pushes the price all the way down to 7,600. But once it breaks, that means we are anticipating these positions. So there's another anticipation. If it breaks, maybe here we go. That's quite some move. That quite some space to accumulate all the way, come all the way down. That's France 40. We're looking at UK 100 as well because of the the news. The GDP, Bank of England are actually speaking. So again, we are anticipating the retracement of the France 40, UK 100, maybe as well as German 30. So UK 100, let's look at closely. All right. Okay, if we go to a bigger time frame, all right, so we're anticipating to come all the way this side. Maybe here. Okay, to come all the way this side, so that at least, you know, it can recover a little bit in terms of France 40 at particular time. All right. All right, so those are France 40, UK 100 that we look at, as well as German 30 as well. We're looking at German 30 retracement, that what we are seeing at the particular time. But look at this gap, right? This is what I've been anticipating, that at particular time, German 30 is going to have to push the price so hard down so that it can recover this. So much hard that it can get to this level. So for now, just a retracement, maybe to get to 18,153. Once it breaks at that position, again, we are anticipating this area to be recovered. Once it recovers there, then we know that at least, you know, we accumulate a couple of pips from there. All right, NASDAQ has been a very bullish instrument in terms of the US instrument. Look at where it's coming from, 20,053. He's been breaking the records in terms of how NASDAQ has been going all the way high. What are we seeing this week? I'm pretty much seeing the same type of bullish movement that I'm going to see. So I'm anticipating a bullish movement when it comes to NASDAQ, US 100, maybe to recover to 20,000 mark. But before that, because of today, the volatility is slow, it might start retracing all the way to 19,491. When it comes to volatility start Tuesday, Wednesday, that's where I'm anticipating to bullish again all the way to 20,053. So that's NAS 100. The other interest instrument, because of how the the stories are coming in terms of the economy, is JP225. Why we are seeing JP225, just an additional story. I think Russia and the Japanese have actually, combined and signed an agreement, and that US is actually putting the closer eye in the Japanese government. So from that, the biggest instrument of Japan, which is JP225, it's showing a little bit of, a weakness in the market. So what I'm anticipating that the market, it might drop a little bit because of that incentive from the geopolitics that is happening in Japan and China, and including United States of America. So I'm anticipating the price to push a little bit down to 38,409, 38,409. What are we looking in terms of gold? Gold, I think, has been bearishing for the whole last week. Not really the whole last week, but the end of the week of last week, bearish all the way up. But I'm anticipating actually a buy to go all the way and recover to 2,364, 2,364. So that's what I'm anticipating when it comes to gold. Is there any other instrument? Yes, because of there's a little bit of a news that is coming from Australia. Remember, there's a GDP coming from Australian dollar. So there's Australian 200, anticipating again for there. It's just to recover a little bit to here. But it depends with the CPI and the GDP that is coming from Australia. If it will be weak, if those GDPs and the CPI, it will show the weakened consumer price index, I'm anticipating Australian dollar, Australian 200 to go up, touches at this position, coming back, break this level, and close the week at a lower position. Closing the week at a lower position. Let me just indicate the lower position that I think the market will close. Okay. So yeah, so when it comes to Wednesday, Thursday, I'm anticipating the market to close at this level. But for now, it's a bullish movement. Goes all the way up, touches 77,000 to 77,900 or 7,791. Trace pushes the price back, break at 7,729, pushes all the way to 7,675. So that's actually what I'm thinking in terms of high impact volatility and how it's going to affect the market itself on the chart this week. So yeah, guys, there's actually a 50% bonus when you actually trade with 360 Capital. You just have to deposit $100, just $100 above. You'll be able to get a 30% bonus. So keep subscribing, share with other guys. Thank you very much for actually, watching the video. Thank you.